Hey, how's it going, everyone? Got a interesting video here for you all. Mostly because of the civs here, though. These are two players we really do enjoy watching as well. Oops, sorry, that's not what I want. What I want to do is, I think Vinch. Sorry, Vinch. I'm always doing this to Vinchester. I feel bad constantly. But the blue-purple, red-purple just doesn't work. Purple does not work with a lot of colors, unfortunately. I don't dislike the color, but makes it difficult. So welcome in. 1v1 on Arabia here. Vinchester playing as the Burgundians and Yo playing as the Burmese. Two... How do I want to put this? Maybe I'm okay actually just straight up saying two of the worst Arabia civs in the game. Burgundians aren't terrible, but they just don't get rolling fast enough to usually work out on Arabia. We saw them a couple times in the Shenaisi Cup. I don't think they won a single time though. And the Burmese, also difficult to pull off. Hera tried. Hera loves the Burmese. He tried to play them in the tournament a couple times. I also don't think he won a game with them, though. So, battle of two, if not terrible, below average Arabia civs. Burmese, obviously, they can't go skirms. They can't really go any ranged units in general, which is awkward. You can... They have... Why... See, why do they even get Parthian tactics? Feels like a waste. Right? You're never going Cav archers here. They don't only get the first armor. They don't get thumb ring. Like, it's just not pretty. So I guess there's no reason not to give them Parthian tactics in the same mindset. Really good Hussar line, but no Paladin, no Camel, Step Lancers. They do get Elite Battle Elephant, but obviously that is difficult to go for in a 1v1 setting. So Burmese, they're known for monks. They're known for Arambai. Arambai sometimes can be viable on Arabia, especially if you're doing a, you know, Phosphoru kind of strategy, but Yo, not the guy that would do that. So I don't think we're going to see that. Meanwhile, on the other side, Burgundians. Burgundians are kind of that civ that can do everything kind of well, but can't do anything perfectly. The only thing I would say that they do really, really well is they're one of the best gunpowder civs in the game. They get the extra, I forget what the percentage is, but, or rather what the bonus is, but their hand cannons get extra attack. So they do have arguably the best hand cannons. They're definitely top 3. But everything else, you know, they get Paladin, but they don't get Bloodlines. They're missing the last armor for Skirmishers. They don't get Arbalest. No Thumb Ring as well for their ranged units. They get good infantry, but no Gambesons for their champion line. Stuff like this. It's just kind of tough. And like I said, a lot of their eco bonuses, usually Burgundians are considered an eco-based civ. Their eco bonuses slow you down early on, which is usually not good for Arabia. So it's good eventually. Getting double bid axe in the Dark Age is still worth it on Arabia, but it does slow you. It's still, you know, 100 food that you're, or whatever. It's actually discounted. It's still 67 food and 50 wood that you're putting into an upgrade early on. So you're usually not hitting any, you know, 18 pop-ups with the Burgundians, which sometimes is just bad on Arabia at the highest level. I would say probably at slightly lower elos. Doesn't really matter. But there's a reason they are not picked very often in Arabia tournaments. For now, though, both players are on their way up to the Feudal Age. Probably a scout opening for both of these civs, I have to imagine. But we shall see. Yo, a little bit late to the barracks, so won't be able to make the second production building immediately upon reaching feudal age. Eco's looking solid here for both, though. Alright, Yo's going to finish the barracks, and it is indeed going to be scouts for him. Stable. Okay, Yo, never mind. I guess we're opening archers. He's just only now going to gold. See? This is... I swear Yo does this just to mess with me. I'm like, oh yeah, we're floating 400 food. You know, or there's nothing on gold. Surely this is scouts. Also, we're Burmese, so our ranged units do not scale after feudal age. Nope, we're going to be making archers here. They are fine in the feudal age. Fully upgraded feudal age archers for the Burmese. And I suppose some situations you can go crossbow in castle age. You're usually not rushing that second armor anyway, but I don't know, man. On the other side, Vinchester is indeed going scouts. He's got 2 on the field already, 3rd on the way. He gets horse collar. He's already got bow saw, so the res collected should be inching forward for Vinchester. Scout for Yo, takes some hits. He's going to have to pull back with that. He's got... couple spears and an archer heading forward, so Vinchester's going to realize now, I guess he already did know, that it was some sort of archer opening, but Yo is not being super concerned about production here. Only 2 archers on the field so far. Vinchester's got himself small walled up sort of to the TC. I would have liked one more house here, ideally, but... it's only 1 archer and 2 spears. Vinchester is not afraid of getting his villagers involved in a scuffle. Of course, Yo can be annoying microing this archer, but Vinch is going to strap on his boxing gloves. If he can kill the archer, the villagers can take out the spears pretty easily, and this is what happens. Can he pull the Weakville away? He does. Beautiful. Great job by Vinchester. Could have lost 1 villager there, which still would have been worth it, by the way. But does not even do that. He puts that house down where I wanted it anyway. On the other side, looks like Vinch's scouts have all gone down up in Yo's base. 1 villager paid with, I think that's his life. I think this is a bareback, right? Yeah, it must be. So a little bit of damage for Vinchester, but largely both players seem to be escaping feudal age unscathed. And it's just a matter of when we want to actually get up to the next stage. Vinch is going to go out to gold now. His food eco's looking pretty solid. 11 farms, plus the berries still going. Yo actually gets fletching. Interesting. Going to be losing a spearman over the middle. Yo has to go for some pretty big walls here to keep everything safe. There's just nothing to wall to on this side of his base. Vinch can say the same about the front of his base, I suppose. So he's done a pretty good job of walling as well, but obviously the gold is not super locked down if these archers show up forward. Okay, stable. Stable now for Yo. Is he actually going to make scouts? Okay, a scout coming out here. So Yo really not in a rush to hit the castle age. Some players, I think, are baited a little bit with the Burgundians into rushing too quickly up to the next stage because they feel like their eco is just behind constantly, which it is, but it's not by that much. Like, Vinch had double bit axe in the Dark Age. He had bowsaw as soon as he hit feudal age. He's still only 200 res collected ahead of Yo right now. So it's really not as big of a deal as you might think. He did get wheelbarrow, so he's down vills. Sometimes that doesn't pay off immediately, so maybe that's part of it, but Let's see. Vinchester clicks up to the Castle Age, but will he give up too much ground off the back of this? Yo's going to be quite a bit later to the Castle Age, so might need to find some damage, even if it's just delaying Vinch on the gold. This is good too, though. Delaying the archery range is not bad. I guess this means Vinchester wants... What? Cav archers? There's no way, right? Why is Vinch making archery ranges? Is it just for skirms? Just straight up skirm, maybe. I know it's a Cav archer meta, quote unquote, these days, but I don't think Burgundians are the civ to do it with. First armor on the way for the skirms, though. I mean, if Yo's just gonna stick on Burmese archers, you may as well make skirmishers, I suppose. I think a lot of players, myself included, when they're playing the game, overthink things a little bit. Like, I'm here thinking like, oh, wow, why are we adding a second range? When really you gotta keep things simple. You see archers, you make skirmishers, right? Scouts from Yo finding a pretty good engagement against the skirms. However, I don't know if Vinch scouted... He did scout the stable, so probably anticipated these showing up at some point, but that's a good fight also. Preventing Vinch from taking wood over on this side. He does have another wood line, but it's, you know, Arabia wood lines. Castle Age comes in for Vinch. He drops a TC immediately on this gold. So he wants to continue his eco advantage. 50 seconds longer until Yo hits the next stage. Feels like knights are probably just the way. Archers get cleared up, and I would stop making them right now. Is there any reason to keep making archers here as Yo? Elite Skirm comes in, Bodkin's in. Again, you don't get armor after the first one. We don't get thumb ring. Like, there's just... We do not have good archers at all. Armor coming in for cavalry. We do drop a second TC back here. Yo does also on his gold, though he's able to put it in a nicer spot on the gold. Vinches still doesn't technically protect the villagers super hard, but there's no other option here for Vinch. University coming in as Vinch gets crossbow. Okay. I suppose you also have to realize Yo's not sticking on ranged units forever, right? So there has to be some answer, rather, to cavalry when it shows up. Crossbows can maybe deal with that a little bit better. So the skirms are doing a pretty good job so far. Ballistics on the way. Yo really is going to have to switch off of ranged units here because we're getting all the upgrades needed. Siege Workshop and Monastery. There we go. This is what we wanted to see. Burmese, I think they're classified as a monk civ. There aren't too many civs that are actually called a monk civ, but Burmese is one of them. Like, as the primary thing the game calls them. I think Burmese is monk civ, maybe first and only. Monk cav civ, I guess, probably. But all of their monastery techs are half off. So it's easy to get these upgrades in as the Burmese. Handcart coming in for Vinch. Res collected check. He is getting close to 1,000 res collected ahead, so Burgundian's starting to really pay off with this economy. Has not suffered any damage either. Kind of a rough start for the Burmese, right? Burmese don't get a ton of bonuses until Castle Age. In fact, I don't know if they get any... there must be something I'm forgetting that they get early, but they don't get very much. And like I said, the issue with Burgundians on Arabia is that they're slow to get going, but if their opponents are even slower, then... doesn't matter. Conversion might still come in here. Doesn't quite. No, I don't think any upgrades. Yeah, no Sanctity. If Sanctity was in, that Light Cav or Scout still would have been converted for sure. Mangonel almost gets sniped, but Repair Villager is coming in clutch here for Yo. The Knights are becoming an issue. The crossbow, I guess, is Vinch's answer to the Cav. But it's not really getting it done just yet. If it's only Knights, the monks can do fine, as long as there aren't still scouts or light cav or whatnot around. Vinch denied off the relic. That's rather important for the Burgundians. They get food as well as gold from their relics. Yo, kind of accruing some idle TC time here. He did add in the third town center, but has not been able to keep it running consistently. Vinchester's adding in a third TC. It's on stone and wood. That's a beautiful, one of the best TCs you can possibly hope for on Arabia, honestly. Fervor and Redemption coming in for Yo. So he's basically missing no upgrades in the Castle Age. He's missing Devotion, I suppose. Technically, that could be relevant. Cavalier coming in for Vinchester. Castle Age Cavalier is, I think, an underappreciated bonus of the Burgundians. Sometimes, but again, it's another upgrade where it's expensive, right? So it kind of, it's nice in a prolonged Castle Age fight if your opponent's going Knights, but it's tough. Also, no upgrades on these Cavalier yet. We went for Cavalier before any armor or attack upgrades from the Blacksmith. Interesting. Is that good? 20 extra HP. No bloodlines yet for Yo. Is the reason for that. I mean, I guess there aren't too many upgrades for Yo either, but I think we need the upgrades here for Vinch if we're trying to go Cavalier into the Knights. Cavalier switch also seems strange when your opponent's going monks, right? We'll see. Yo's got 4 mangonels unloading on this town center. Vinch is going to delete some buildings. He's trying to snipe the monks with the ranged units, but the mangonels absolutely destroy those skirms and crossbows. Still, though, the Cavalier conversions were not perfect for Yo. He only got... Well, actually, no, never mind. He did get quite a bit of Cavalier. Apparently, Vinch had more than I thought. So, only 1 mangonel survives. Man, Sanctity kind of helps. Sanctity helps a lot against Cavalier, actually. The extra couple attack they get. Okay, Vinch trying to expand out to the left and behind. Yoda's keeping the pressure up here. This is a classic Burmese push. Usually hard to pull off on Arabia, but maybe I was wrong. I said the slow Burmese start was really good for the Burgundians. Maybe the slow Burgundian start is also really good for the Burmese. It allowed Yo to just kind of get into what he wants to be into anyway. So looking like an arena composition. A couple monks go down there to the light cav. But only a couple. There's more left. Does this castle go up? I guess it will. There's a lot here for Mr. Yo. Vinch getting dusted by the mangonels a little bit here. We're still pushing in on this town center. 1 mangonel's going to go down for free. Cavalier getting body blocked. Great. I don't know if that was intentional, but great blocking by Yo there to keep the mangonel alive. Castle completes. I don't know where these mangonels are going. But Vils are going to have to run for Vinchester. Yo's going to get on stone at the front here. A second castle is pretty close to being ready to go. As Vinch gets a market up in the back. Is that his first market of the game? That's crazy. Vinch drops a castle. So the siege push will no longer be viable straight into the base like this, though could still do some stuff over on the side. Vinch is evacuating a ton of villagers over to the left now. Imperial Age on the way, though, for Vinch. Res collected, 1,200 ahead for him. Yo, technically could be pretty close to clicking up if he really wants to go to town on the market. But if he doesn't, he's not super close. So this imp timing could be good as Yo decides to drop another castle over here. There's not a lot of military on the field for Vinch. He's trying to just play the stall game, I guess, until he can get to imp and start getting trebs out. Mangonels arrive over here. We've got some Arambai on the field. Not a ton yet. Feels like you need like 10 of these things. I don't know quite what the number is, but feels like 10 is a pretty good number before they start feeling really good. Castle for Vinch over on this side, up on the hill is nice, but he's going to have to abandon another town center. Mangonels can harass this gold. Like I said, this town center only somewhat protects it. Can't get too close to the castle, though. It's going to be another TC down as Vinch trying to just find resources he can take. Imperial Age 30 seconds away for Vinch, 2 minutes 30 seconds away from Yo. He was able to click up, but 2-minute advantage here for Vinch as another castle gets dropped by Yo. That's crazy. That's absolutely wild. This could be good or bad. I mean, Yo's taking tremendous map control. But now that Imperial Age is in for Vinch, he clicks Chemistry immediately. He can start making trebuchets. And if he's able to clear these castles up, that's a lot of resources for Yo. It could go down. Especially if he wants a Rambai, which is, I think, a pretty good late-game composition for the Burmese, as far as it goes. You need all your castles for that you can get. Yo, trying to push in on this town center. I mean, he's castle dropped 3 town centers now. Each of his castles has hit a town center. This is the last one left for Vinch. And this castle only protects this eco so much. Ballistics on the way for Yo. Technically, that does affect the Arambai. They're so inaccurate, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes, but technically it does. Vinch actually trying to treb down these mangonels first. Interesting. Okay, well, he gets one. He's going for the second. He is. Okay, misses. Yo, dodges. He's trying to repair this town center. I mean, it's the only one he's got for the time being. So you don't really want to be no TC game. He does snipe the Mangonel with the Treb a second time, though. The pushback's kind of happening, though, or at least the hold here, as Vinchester is trebbing this castle from the back. There's no real way for Yo to prevent that from happening. Trebbing this one from the front. There's no real way for Yo to stop that from happening until he can go through the castle, that is. Vinch is going to have to repair. Yo's gaining an eco lead. 120 villagers for Yo. Only 95 for Vinch. Just hasn't had the TCs on the field. Hasn't even really taken that much eco damage. Just straight up does not have the town center. His castle goes down for Yo, though. This one's going to follow. And Yo kill this castle as well. This would be big. If this castle goes down, it's really bad for Vinch. Second castle down for Yo. I think Vinch's castle also goes down, though. Of course, we've already got block printing illumination for Yo, so the monks are outranging all of the ranged units here for Vinch. Castle goes down for Vinch. That's really bad. Treb War. Ranged units coming in here, sniping down the monks, but the Arambai are up to 15. Bloodlines is now in. They've got ballistics. Surely that will help. Trebs going down here on both sides. On the other side, Yo wants to castle drop over here. Won't be able to do it quite where he wants it there, but he can put it literally anywhere else. He doesn't see any of these farms. This is a capture age thing. He still does not know there's a TC out here. Vinch is going to go for a castle here. Interesting. He's going to be losing villagers here, though. Arambai are on the way. If you get up close with these things, they can carve through vills real quick. Is it quick enough, though, to deny the castle? No. Castle completes. Arambai dying to the castle pretty heavily. A lot of Arambai down, actually. Yo wants another castle. Yo's starting to take map control with his castles now. This is not great, though, for Yo. This tiny army here for Vinch could actually be really annoying on this castle. Yo is going to probably lose his initial castle, but he's trebbing down Vinchester's most recent one. Okay, and the Light Cav arrive here for Yo. So his castle will indeed go up. Hussar on the way for Yo. I'm starting to think Vinchester is not able to do this. He does kill this castle. If this castle goes down, Vinch is kind of dead, though. He's trying to expand his eco down here, but a lot of this is not protected by anything. Arambai ride out against the hand cannons. We are losing Arambai, though. Hussar. The Hussar is going to be a problem. The Hussar is going to be a massive problem, actually. Vinchester does not have the eco to spam units like Yo does. So Yo, if he loses all these Hussar, he doesn't care. Vinch, every unit that dies here is a big deal. Bombard cannons stay alive, but barely. A lot of hand cannons died there. Maybe they don't stay alive. They do. They survive on 39 HP between them. Vinch is out of gold. Vinch is out of gold. He's out of stone. It was a great hold attempt from Vinchester, but I don't know. He's selling what he can to just maintain hand cannon production. I did say hand cannons were one of the few units Burgundians have that are not just, I guess technically they're not fully upgraded, but they are above average. These raids, though, how does Vinch ever come? He's down to 80 villagers. He still only has 1 TC. Feels like he has no way to prevent these trebs, and he can't keep buying stone to repair. Like I said, once that castle goes down, it's probably game over. Hussar don't care about the castle. Like I said, Yo can spam these forever. He's got 77 on food, so he really does not care about these Hussar dying at all. Absolutely worth it for him to snipe anything. And Vinchester has to call the GG. Great game from Yo. And maybe I was right after all. Maybe the Burgundians are just bad. I was trying to talk myself into the Burgundians maybe not being as bad as I thought they were on Arabia, but when you're getting beaten by the Burmese on Arabia, feels a little bad. Yo just forced the issue. Knew that Vinch was not going super heavy into military early. Again, Burgundians, an eco-civ, right? So Yo did a little bit of feudal age fighting, but then it was all monks and siege push, castle drop, monk siege castles. And Vinchester, like I said, did a good job of holding, but just took too much damage, I think. Lost too many TCs too early. So fell behind on eco and couldn't bring it back. 13k ahead for Yo, almost. All right, so what I'm trying to say is buff Burgundians. I don't know. I think Burgundians is a tough one for me. I think they realistically should have the button replaced by something else because players never hit the button anymore. The button being Flemish Revolution. But it's like, I don't know. That's one of the defining features of their civ, right? Are those Flemish militia? So I don't know how you deal with it, but I think they do need something because they're pretty bad on Arabia. They're only okay on closed maps at the higher levels, like Arena. They're okay, but they're not special. And I mean, they aren't a good water civ particularly. They don't get SO or Heavy Scorpion or Siege Ram. They don't get Siege Engineers. So on Giga closed maps like Black Forest and stuff, they aren't amazing. It's just kind of tough. I don't know. They don't have a niche, I feel like. They're just kind of okay on every map, which maybe is fine, but also I like the Burgundians, so I don't know. But Yo played this perfectly. Just Burmese things. We never see Burmese either in tournaments. Like I said, Hera is the only player I know of that ever drafts Burmese in any tournament. So maybe Hera's figured them out or can figure them out, but interesting matchup here between two civs we barely see on Arabia. So hopefully that was enjoyable. Little clownery by Yo in the second half of this. Good hold by Vinch. I think against a lot of players, Vinch would have been able to actually stabilize, but Yo just never lets the gas up, right? Yo lost 3 castles, by the way. Yo lost 3 castles up here, and it didn't matter. You just kept making more. All right, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day or night, or whatever it is, wherever you are, and I will certainly see you around, all right? Peace.